Hi guys, what's up? It's Zudek Sebastian. It's been a while since I have posted the last video, like 4 weeks ago. I'm totally sorry about that, and let's continue about what I have promised to you about the ICopy-X, just doing the following things, like showing you the iClass decoder, and also other things that will interest you, depending on the context. So in this video, I will show you how to use particularly the iClass SE Decoder, because today I have also the sample for that. So if you remember last time, I didn't have a proper sample in order to test that. So now I have it, and I will be able to test directly the SE decoder. But then I will also show some cards that I include with the bundle of the ICopy-X, because some of the cards, are really named, and also it's complicated, it's confusing to see which card you have to use in particular context. So I will also show that, and also how to reset them, what are also the limits, also the errors you will get with the ICopy-X. So sometimes you will also have to get your hands dirty in order to reset them, and also to manipulate some of the cards. And I will also do some teardown, and also speak about the teardowns project of the RFID research group. And then it will be finished. But yeah, so if you want to start using the ICopy-X SE decoder, if you remember, it is like a sort of reader that embeds some interface that will also will allow you to directly connect the reader to the ICopy-X. So let's just like plug it, and after that you will get a message directly. So let's see this message. So when the decoder is detected by the reader, by the ICopy-X, you will see a message like that. For example, just telling you that you have to put an iClass SE tag in front of the reader. So don't get it wrong, because the reader in question is the ICopy-X decoder in here. So let's just like put a card like that in here. Okay, and so directly you will see that, for example, I have a serial number of the card that has been taken. So and the decoder was able to read the card. So now what I have to do is just to place. I would just like just push to the right button like that, and then I have to just like remove this decoder like that. Okay, so then you have to present a blank ICS card, which is in here, provided by the ICopy-X. But we'll see then after that, ICS doesn't mean, anything more than just like, a PicoPass, iClass PicoPass tag. So let's just present it to the reader like that and write into the tag.
Successful.
Super. So now we'll be able, just doing these few steps, we'll be able to just like directly present this card to the reader, and impersonify, for example, someone else's card like that. But if you try to write into this type of card twice, it will be a little bit difficult unless you know how to unlock this type of card. So I will show how you can manipulate this type of card, how you can reset it in order to make it work once again on the ICopy-X. And also I will show you other type of cards that may be very useful for some particular reason, how you have to proceed in order to manipulate them. So yeah, let's see that. If I'm just like trying to do exactly the same thing once again, for example, I'm just like plugging back the decoder, then presenting a card in here. All right. I will probably just like, yeah, now it's working. Then it tells me to just like unplug the decoder. So I will also unplug the decoder like that. And then I will try to write to a tag like that. And you will see that it will be a fail. So it failed. So yeah, you cannot, theoretically, if you don't know how to use these cards and you're just using these cards very easily with the ICopy-X, you will be probably facing the issue of rewriting to the same card, and so you will maybe just like be tempted to buy a lot of ICS cards. So yeah, just before you do that, maybe let's see how we can unlock them. So like that, we'll be able to see what happens. So if you remember, I was like also speaking about the teardown project. So I have also contributed to the teardown project by also including the keys that are used, for example, for the ICS tags type to be unlocked at some points, and also to be able to be rewritten once again. If you want to use your ICopy-X as a proxmark, just remember what we have done in the past. So just like unplugging that, and then plugging the computer to ICopy-X. And so then you choose the PC mode, which is on the menu. And then after the PC mode, you will be able to communicate with it with your computer. In the previous video, I've also told you that you can directly use the RFID client in order to make the client works with the ICopy-X, which is true, but I mean, if you don't want to have any surprise, or just talking with Philip Turen, Philip just told me that if you want, for example, to be in phase with the ICopy-X, it's better maybe to use the ICopy-X community PN3, which comes for the teardown that I have also talked to you before, because the teardown project, in the teardown project, they also show, they also displayed some parts, some interesting parts that have been provided. I mean, that's not in here, but the upstream, sorry. In the upstream part, ICopy-X also provided some information, including also the sources of the proxmark. So they also provided these sources, and you can directly see also the difference between an old RFID client and the ICopy-X client. So yeah, basically, as we have shown also earlier, I mean the proxmark part is a little bit outdated compared to the RFID client which you have today. But yeah, I mean, doesn't matter for what we want to use, but keep in mind that, I mean, with the ICopy-X, you don't get the updated proxmark project from the RFID community. So yeah, if you want to run it also, you have to make the project, the ICopy-X pin3 the client. So I mean, just going to this repository, and you will see that the FPGA part is also not, it's failing at compiling at some point. So I will also probably also look at it with Philip and also other people when we really have time. But first, we will not, I mean, we don't have to bother about that. So we'll just like try to directly look at the clients for our purpose, which is exactly working, because if you do like sudo pm3, but also you precise the TTY, you will be able to directly run the project. And so then we'll see how we can directly look at the this ICS tag, because this ICS tag is actually, located at some points. So let's see that together. To see that, we can directly put the tag like that in the reader, and then we can just like look at the HF iClass. In HF iClass, you have a check option which lets you directly look at some repositories. So let's see also if we have like the dictionary part. Wait a second, like that. So I'll just like do find name and try to see. I have the dictionary. Okay, so this is actually true. All right. And dic, that can't find the dictionary. Wait a second. All right. Strange. So maybe I would just like directly put the path of this thing. Like that. not working at all. That's strange. Let me just like recopy exactly that because it's kind of strange. So yeah, it seems like it's failing at directly using this this dictionary. So what I will do is that I will probably fall back to the original clients, ROG clients. So yeah, let's see that with the original clients, but we see that there's like a fail in here. So I will just like go to PM3, Proxmark 3 like that, and I will directly use, I will disconnect that. Our disk, connect, okay, and connect, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's like no way to disconnect it, so maybe I will just like exit like that. So PM3 like that, up, and then wait. All right, so now let's see if we have the same problem. So I will just like go back to HF, iClass, like that, and then check that, check. You can directly copy this line. And so then you will see that the key for that is 000, which is not what I have expected in here. So I will probably just like see why I have that. I will probably just like look with another with a Proxmark actually instead of this one. So let me just like exit that part and then connect a real Proxmark in order to see what is going on. Okay. So I'm just like now using a real Proxmark for this card, and then let's go back to this client. I will just like reconnect to it and use that. And yeah, now I have a key, which is something that I wanted to see. So actually there's like, kind of, some, yeah, there's like some limitation with the ICopy-X, which directly limits us to get the key. But yeah, here is the key that is actually used by the by the um, by the by the cards. So you can now because of this key, because at some points what is happening, for example, if you want to rewrite into this card, is that the ICopy-X is just looking at one key, one particular key, in order to flash your device. And I will probably just like show you why. So let me show you in this VM actually what is going on. So when just like looking at the HF iClass SO, I mean, you would probably just cry by looking at the source code. I mean, looking at the disassembly of that. But you will see that, for example, in here you have some keys that are used. For example, this one, which is used, this one, which is also used, and you have also this one, which this one is a reference basically in the teardown. I have because of the ICS type of card, I have also added this key, which wasn't a reference before because it is actually a new type of card. Also, the team didn't saw in the past, so I have also contributed to it in order to include this key and then allow you to reflash this type of card. So now let's see how we can reflash it. So this is pretty simple. What you need to do is that now we have this card. I mean, you have this key. So you will use this key in order now to reflash the ICS type of cards with the old with the old number. And so if we remember, the old number is this one. So I will probably just like copy it. Then like that. If yeah, I'll just like probably copy it somewhere else like that. Once you have copied the key, you can directly also see something. You can directly check the content of the card just by doing that. For example, if you just mess up with the key, you will see that you will not be able to extract, I mean, to read the block. So that means that actually you are using the right key in here. So that means that, for example, this key will be used to read into the blocks, and we'll use this key in order to reflash the card with the last I mean the old key, which was used, for example, for the ICopy-X to write into it. Because actually the ICopy-X, what does the ICopy-X is pretty simple. Is that just like you will see that, for example, all the cards that provide, for example, ICopy-X will be presented as a iClass legacy PicoPass 2K. So yeah, this is something also weird because the last card that were also provided by ICopy-X is the ICL type of card, which is exactly the same type of card as the ICS, but with a different password. So what we'll do actually in here is that we will just like reflash. I mean, you just need to do exactly the same thing as the ICL type of card that were documented in the teardown of the ICopy-X, but with another key, which is the key which was actually leaked in here, like that. So now, for example, we are able to directly read into it. So we'll use iClass. Now there's something to calculate in here. So let's see, where is calculate new key? Okay, so we'll just like calculate new key. We'll tell that now the old key was actually the key that is current in the tag. And we want just like to, to give another key, which is the one that we have copied, like that. And so now we calculate the new key. The new key now normally that we have to now provide is this one. So we need then to just like do write. So let's just write this block, write the data. The data will be this data, like that. All right, with the old key, which is in here. And then we have wrote successfully the block, and like that we'll be able to directly, to flash the tag. So let's see that together. So now what I will do is that I will do exactly the same thing, exactly the same process by, for example, directly ejecting everything. I have this card. It's the same exact card that was actually copying this card. So now let's just like connect the reader like that. Okay. Wait until the message pops up, then present the card. No, sorry, in here like that. Right. And now, if it's working by just writing into it, I will also move out that. And you can see that the writing is a success right now. So, yeah. And that was it for the iClass legacy cards. So now let's see about the other cards that are included with the bundle. In the bundle, you have My Fair Classic 1, L1, Type 1, Type... what does it mean exactly? And this is the real questions. So yeah, if you remember, also in the last video, I could show you how to, for example, copy a tag to another tag. So this is like, for example, the way with just like if I'm just like doing some cleaning here, I will just like show you first the master, the M1 4B L1 type. What is it exactly? Then we will show the L3 and also the L2 first. After the L1. So let's see how we can just like proceed with just copying one tag. So I will just like, for example, try to copy this one. So let's just copy it with the photocopy. we can see that the reading of this card was made perfectly. So if we introduce, for example, the other card, which is like the L1 type, which is in here, we can just like exchange by it. We can write on it like that. We can write. Like that. Super. And then let's try to rewrite just to see if it does work or not. So for that type of card, I mean, you can write, every time you want. But if you choose, for example, another type, which is like the L2, and this is the case for this one, the L2 card, I will just like introduce this card. You will see that you will be able to write on its fonts. Okay, so now if I'm trying to rewrite on it, it will probably fail. But then I will also show you what is going on. So you can see that the write failed. So there's also another feature which now works because it had some issue in the past. You can erase the tag now properly with the L2. Oh, a non-error. So yeah, I will try maybe to do it again. Let's see. Okay, I see that, for example, for that, I have like an error for this type of card. So yeah, I will see exactly what happens just like by reporting. Maybe it's like a problem with the ICopy-X. So, and then we will debug it with the Proxma client. So after you reboot it, we can try to erase the tag once again. Let's see. Okay. It seems like he completely failed to erase our tag. So what we will do exactly is that we'll use the Proxma client in order to debug what is going on. But I will probably just like try to read the tag just now and try to see if I can, for example, just retrieve some keys. You can see that with the reading, I don't have any issues. Okay, so now I try to just go back and go erase. Come on, erase. Let's see. Yeah, still an issue. So let's see with the Proxma client how it works. Okay, so now we will just like plug the ICopy-X and put it in on the PC mode, and then we'll go to the terminal like that, where we just like generate. Wait a second, I will also put the card on it. We will generate actually a binary with all the keys. I'm just using the autopound, which is the magic feature of the Proxmark, like that, because I'm also lazy, as you may guess. And like that, I will just like generate the key. So yeah, you have a binary file which is generated with all the keys like that. And so then you can just proceed with the key file. So let's just like now put the key file in here, and let's wipe now the L2 card like that. To understand what is going on, we'll look particularly on access control bits that are actually set by the ICopy-X and comparing them to the access bits that are in the original tag. So let's do that. First, I will make a dump of the two cards I have. So I will just like dump this one and then dump the L2 cards. So let's do that. And I will just like use, for example, directly HF, MF. I mean, there's like autopawn and also one of the key that I got from the badge. And then after doing that twice, I mean, with the original tag and also with the L2 tag, I will be able to just see what control bits are set by the ICopy-X exactly. So if we compare the two dumps together, we can clearly see that the access condition remain the same, so everything looks the same. But I mean, there's a little issue because of the tag we have cloned is that in here, even with Gen 2, we have to be very careful with the access condition. So yeah, if for example you see that the access condition in here like that, for example, you can just like fill the form. I mean, there's like a calculator online and there's like plenty of other calculator. Also MCT on Android has a calculator for access conditions. So you can clearly see that, for example, in here, you have like a 1, 0, and 0. So block 0 can be read by KE or KA, and you can write with KB, but you know everything remains the same for the 3 first blocks, but the fourth it's a little bit complicated because you can clearly see that none of the key can actually reset the access condition. So I mean, what the access condition tells you is that you cannot, you cannot change this part. You cannot change the sector trailer in here. So that's why also you will see that Gen 2 tag will not be possible to wipe in here, and this is different from the other Chinese card, like for example the generation 1, which has like for example a Chinese, a secret command in order to wipe directly the tag. In here for the Gen 2, at least what you can do is that you can, for example, I can maybe just like show it to you. So you can, for example, let me also just zoom on it. We'll just like go with that and scan for a tag. So you can introduce the tag, look at the info, look at, for example, the UID which is in here, and if you want to change the UID with TUID card, you can at least change the UID like that just by, for example, changing the block 0 like that. And you just provide the right key. Sorry, I will just like maybe get the right key somewhere. Wait a second, like that. Like that. Okay, and so now you will see that, for example, you will be able to rewrite the UID, anyway. But yeah, the thing is that the other blocks that are used by the tag are fused. I mean, this operation is irreversible unless you are using, for example, a specific card like the generation 1, another type of card that allows you, for example, to do wipe, because in here, obviously, for example, with the generation 2, you cannot wipe directly things. I mean, even if you use, for example, the wipe command, you will not be able to wipe everything, only the blocks where you have write to, but I mean, there will be like some block left where you will not have the access. And I mean, if you set the access condition like that, this operation will not be reversible compared to the other tags. Like for example, I mean, I can just like show you maybe in here. We'll just like reuse an L1 tag, for example, this L1 tag. So yeah, maybe just like, let's suppose I want to copy, for example, some tag in here. I mean, it's exactly the same thing as I have showed to you. It's just like, for example, I was using this tag exactly in here that I have. So using the cwipe command will be exactly the same thing as using exactly the erase command, the erase feature of the ICopy-X. So yeah, be aware about these things. But maybe I can also show you other reference that you can also look at, also made by the ICopy-X, I mean the RFID research group people, which are also contributed for the ICopy-X teardown. So let me just like retrieve that. But I will also maybe show you some reference that can be interesting to look at. For example, some common cheat sheet. But there's like, for example, concerning the tags, there's like some anomaly tags somewhere. Trace notes. There's like some notes about the tags in here. So tags, key tag, no, cloner, clock, MD, original blocks, low class, path notes, maybe magic cards notes. Yeah, exactly. That was the things in here in this reference. You can find a lot of things about cards that are used in here. Of course, if you want to match, for example, these cards with the ones from ICopy-X, it would be very easy also to look at GitHub ICopy-X, ICopy-X upstream. I would just like go to the teardown and then go to these reference tags. And in here, in this reference, you will also find, I mean, the ICS that I have also committed, in here. And you will also see, the other tags, for example, the L1, the L2. So how you can, what all those badge means exactly. For example, you can see that the ID, for example, badge is a T55 badge, and you will also be able to see it using the LF search command on the Proxmark clients. But you will also see that it will be locked with a password. So if you want to unlock it, you can use this password in order to unlock this card, and then you can overwrite it. So yeah, about the Master Classic 1K, for example, you have like a generation 1A, which is this one. So that is the generation which allows you, for example, to send a command to change the UID, but also to wipe the tag. And for example, in here, if you have like the L2, you have like the CUID. So that was exactly what we have been able to see. We have the CUID. And this UID, generally, if you look also on some tags, these tags are written with the A and B keys, which is at this value for some blocks. I mean, for the sectors, so for the first sector. Yeah, for L3, you have actually something called a UFUID badge, which is like a generation 2 A badge, actually. I mean, as far as I know, it is called generation 2A, but if you want, for example, to order it on the internet, you will find it on the name UFUID, for example, in AliExpress. And you have also other badge like that, so in 7 bytes, etc. So yeah, this reference, I mean, this teardown repository is pretty interesting because it gives you a lot of information about the tags that are also provided by the ICopy-X, which are not very very explicit at the beginning, because you just see L1, L2, L3, but at least you know how to use them. But if you don't know, for example, how to unlock them, how to reset them, you will probably waste a lot of money. Buying a lot of cards, and sometimes you want, sometimes you make some errors sometimes, and you want to erase the cards, reset the cards. So yeah, it's very, it's good to know that some cards are also locked with some passwords. Some cards, like for example the L3, which you can see in here, the L3 is a UFUID, but the problem is that once you have written, for example, UID, you have the choice, for example, to lock it. And I will not do that because I want also to use these keys, to use these cards once again. But you can also order these cards. It is not very expensive on AliExpress, for example. But yeah, if you want, for example, to test how to lock the UID, here's some commands that you can use, for example, to lock the block 0. So like that, for example, if a system is looking for a specific Chinese command, or is looking for a direct write into the block 0, it will not be able to do that, because I mean this block will be fused, will be just like in read-only mode. Now let's go further with some other explanation, in particularly with the USB interface which is in here, which allows you also to communicate with the MCU of the NanoPi, which is included in the ICopy-X, as you remember previously. So yeah, if you want, for example, to understand the communication between this little device and the ICopy-X iClass SE decoder, you can do that without going too much deep, just like by teardown, by doing a teardown of the iClass SE decoder. So yeah, if you want to do that, the clean way is to use, for example, a hub on which you will connect, for example, an Ethernet cable. So let's do that like that. Then you just also put, I mean, you can just like let it as it is right now. Then on this side, what you will do is that you will probably just like offer some network. So I will not do DHCP, sorry. I will use a small script because I have connected directly the ICopy-X to my computer. So like that, I will directly offer an IP address. Let's move on that. Sorry. Like that. Okay. So yeah, normally some packets have been sent. So yeah, directly what I can do is that I can also, in this part, I can use like IPADDR, add, let's do that. If I remember, it is this address, like that, dev, and I don't remember the dev right now. So what is it? AD, VM, blah, blah, blah. No. That was this dev. Right. So right. Normally, I should be able to directly communicate with it. So I can just like do like SSH like that, and type the password, which is the 3G ARM password, which is FA, and then I can log in. And so just by doing login now, what I will do is that I will connect the iCopy-X at some point, but for that I need also to have more power, and to have more power I need another hub. So I have another hub that is a little bit far away of this table. So I would just like, I mean, you will only be able to see I mean this maybe this link. So I will just like connect the iCopy-X directly to the hub. So I'll probably just like, oh, I forgot to also power, yeah, I forgot to also power the hub with an external power supply. So yeah, let me also do that. I will need an external power supply in order to power the hub. So like that, I will not have like a, I mean, voltage drop or something. So let me just connect that. Normally should be fine. And now I will just like connect the decoder to the hub, which is connected to the hub, which is connected to the ICopy-X. And now it should be better. So yeah, I mean, the setup is a little bit strange, but yeah, I mean, it's like the setup at the end is like this hub connected to the another hub, which is not visible in here, but the hub which is invisible is powered with an external power supply. And so now let's go back in here and see what we can do. So I can just like see here. I can see that now I have access to the SSH, and then what I can do is that I can just like, I mean, load, for example, the USB mon like that, and then also make sure, I don't remember exactly all the lines for that, So maybe I would just like, yeah, I should have noted that somewhere, but obviously wasn't thinking about that. What problem? So yeah, I should also do that in here. Okay. Mount that. All right. So now we can just like do a TCP dump of any USB. So you have like USB mon. And you have also several devices that you can also find in here. So for example, device, it was like USB mon 1, 2, USB mon 8. So you will have also to capture all these devices. Then you can merge the capture with TCP dump. For example, you can just like TCP dump that USB mon cap on 1 capture, and focus on this one like that, and then make your capture. Oh, TCP dump is not in here, so yeah. Yeah. Okay, TCP dump is not in here, so you will also to cross compile it. So yeah, if you want, I mean, I think that I have already also cross compiled a TCP dump somewhere. So let me just like see. We'll just like search it very quickly. TCP dump like that. Right? Yeah, it's already in here. Yeah, I have done it in the past. So downloads like that. So yeah. So here I have just make just a TCP dump using the ARM cross. The cross chain in here. So you can also see that the TCP dump binary has been compiled statically in here. So I have just like compiled statically TCP dump, and then what I can do is that I can just like copy this binary to TMP, which is the safer place to be, right? And I can, for example, just like use that like that. So let's just like SCTP TCP dump and that. I'll probably also make use of that. What I was doing. Oh, wait a second. Oh yeah, TCP dump. Forgot. So in here, TMP like that. Okay. Go back in here. Now we are going to the TMP, and we can just after maybe just like modifying the accesses like that. Just a command not found. Oh yeah, because I should have also used that. Okay, so now it's perfect. We can just like now record the USB mon like that. And so we can just like look at what is going on, and then you can debug what is going on, between the reader, the SE reader, the iClass reader and the ICopy-X like that, without having a specific device capture all of that, and then you can measure the capture, and then you can analyze what is going on. I will probably also do that because maybe it will be interesting maybe to use this ICopy-X SE decoder with a real computer. So I will probably also look at how I can make a support for this SE decoder later. But maybe it would be interesting for you to just buy, for example, the SE decoder if you want, and not buy the whole bundle. So yeah, could be like an example of application that I can probably do. Yeah. So that was it for this video. We have been able to see an SE decoder working, and also I could probably also answer to your questions about the cards, how you can use the other cards, etc. How we can go also further with the ICopy-X by having the SSH access, which can probably give you also some ideas of how we can extend it. And yeah, if you like this video and if you want also more of this video, give it a boop. Also subscribe to this channel to support this channel. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later. Bye.